We are discussing statistics. So, we have learned about methods of representing data graphically and in tabular form. We have discussed about central tendency. What was that? Data means values. These are just values. So, we can show the data through graph, or you can show the graph either in a pictorial way, or you can have a tabular form. So these kind of representation will give us certain characteristics or certain salient features of the data. We also found that if we have a data, say 100 number of values, it can be 100, it can be 1000, it can be 1 lakh, 10 lakh, million. So what we found, that how to find out the central value. That is, we want to find the representative value of this given data. So if we have a huge number, huge data values, so we want to find out the central value of the given data. We call it as a central tendency. That is a central value which gives us all the feature of this whole data. For that, what we did? We found out mean. We also call it as arithmetic mean, or arithmetic and mean are same. Or we can find out the median, or we can go for mode. These are all the central tendency. That is, we have a number and these are the measures of central tendency. So give us a number, and this number, single figure, will represent all the observation which are concentrated. That is, they give us one single figure around which the observation are concentrated. Now the question comes, so these central values, are they adequate? Are they giving us complete idea of the distribution? That is, they do not tell us the extent to which the observation vary from the central value, how much the values are scattered. That is, how much they are bunched around a central value, right? So the point is, what is this scattering? What is this bunched or central value? Let me give you an example. What is the problem? What is the problem with this central tendency if the data goes bigger? Okay, we will talk about three things, or four things rather: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. So before that, let me give you the problem. So let me write certain distribution. I am going to write three distributions: 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. We have carefully taken these distribution. Why? I'll just tell you. Let me write the distribution. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And one more distribution we are going to write. And as I said, these observations are carefully being written. These are the data values. I'm just taking 5. It can be 500, 5 million. Okay. So the most important thing is, this in all this distribution, we have the same number of observation and also the same mean and the median. The mean and median is 9 for all these observation. Mean is simply add all of these value divided by the number of observation. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 plus 13 is 28. 28 plus 17 is, it's 45. 5, 4. Okay. The total is 45 divided by 5. So it's 9. And how to find out the median value? Arrange them in ascending order and find out the central value, which is coming 9. So mean and median can be found out. It's easy for these observations. The basic thing is, all these three observations have the same mean and same median. So I want to show you the problem. I want to show you why these central median, or this arithmetic mean, median and mode won't give us the exact scattering, exact dispersion, exact variance. So mean, median, if I just hide these three distribution, you will be bewildered that this 9 and 9 would have come from any of these. Let me just write it in a way so that you understand. Okay. These are three number lines. First is, we start with 0. First number is 1. Then we'll point out 5. If you see all these numbers, we are in the distribution, these are in ascending order. So we can just point out those values which we have in these distribution or data values. 1, 5, 9, 13, and you have 17 here. So these are the distribution. Then we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'll just skip it because the problem will be known by first and last easily. So I'm writing 7 here, 8, then I have 9, 10 and 11. So what do we observe? 9. 9 is the mean and 9 is also the median. So what, I'm not writing, doing the middle one. So we observe that the dots which represents observation and distribution are more close to each other and are clustering around the mean and median center value in the third one. In the third one, everything is near 9. The 10 and 9 difference is just 1. Okay, just 1 unit difference. 9 and 11 just 2 level difference. 9 and 8 one level difference, and 1 unit difference, and 9 and 7 is 2. So all these values are clustering around, coming around, are existing around this central value which is our mean and median in this third one. But if you go to the second one, what do you see here? First and second. When you see that the distribution in this, the distances between the central value and the other values is quite wide. 5 and 13 itself has 4 unit difference. 1 and 17 itself has 8 difference. So these are scattered, these are spread. So now the mean and median for the first distribution is not that what it should represent, while the third one is actually representing the mean and median. But still we have 3 different distribution which are showing us that the mean is also 9, median is also 9. I hope you got the problem. So this is the problem. This is the issue which we are facing. When we have the mean and median, only one central distribution, a central tendency cannot give you the exact idea of the numbers which are there in your list, in your distribution. Okay, let me give you one more example so that you learn it better, because that is from the practical life. You may be watching cricket. Okay, so we have batsmen. Say 2 batsmen are playing game, same game they are playing. Means every inning they are getting batting. So they go for 10 innings. So for second, let us say that 10 times they play and they get batting and they play for whatever their skills they have. Batsman 1, first time he went, he scored 30, then 91, then 0, then 64, then 42, then 80, then 30, then 5, then 117. Oh, 5 he got out, and next time he scored 117. It's very good. 71 then. Now let us come to the second batsman. Now second batsman, he also played with him. He scored 53, then 46, then 48, then 50, then 53, 53 again, 58, 60, 57 and 52. And what is the mean and median? Mean is add all of them, means all B1 data divided by 10 and arrange them in ascending order and find out the middle one. That is mean and median. Or when we find out the mean and median, let me write the direct value. For the batsman 1 and for the batsman 2, the mean and median will come as 53. That is, for both the distribution, for both the best batsmen in all the innings, we don't know who are the batsmen. But the first batsman also has a mean of 53. That is, every time he goes, he scores 53. Batsman 2 also, every time he goes, he scores 53. Same is the median. Mean and median are almost same. They are central tendency. Now the question arises that what will happen if B1 and B2, now there is an academy, They want to choose from B1 and B2. There is a team being formed and there is only one place. Either B1 has to be chosen or B2 has to be chosen. But by the mean and median, the team cannot decide. Only one seat is there. Only one player has to be selected. Who is going to be selected? Everything is equal. Here is the problem. Central value will not give you, we cannot comprehend that who is actually the good player. First batsman got out in third inning for 0. The minimum is 0. Maximum is what? 117. Come on, it's very good. Batsman 2 has never scored a duck or never scored a century. But still his minimum is 46. And the maximum is 60. That whenever he comes to play, he will minimum score 46. So he seems to be more reliable. He seems to be more consistent player. That is, this 46 minimum he will give you this scoring he will do always. But the B1 is not consistent, though he has scored 117. So mean and median is not representing what we want. The team cannot decide a man from these two to have in team, to get selected in the team. Though the mean and median are equal. This 60 and 46 are nearer to mean and median for the batsman 2. But for the batsman 1, neither 0 is closer to 53 nor 117 is closer to 53. So the central value, the spread is too much. The dispersion is too much. The scattering is too much for batsman 1. For batsman 2, it is not the case. All the numbers, all the scoring he did is quite closer to one another. I hope you got the problem. And what is the solution? So the solution is, let us measure the dispersion. So we have a solution for this. It is the measure of dispersion. Now don't go into the English. It's just how much the other values are distance from the center value. How much other values are varying with respect to the central value. That is, if I have a central value, other values wherever you plot, how much they are far, either in a straight line like a number line or in a graph, how much these values are different distance from the central value. This is the measure of dispersion. So if the dispersion is less, the central tendency is good. If the measure is too much, or the distance or dispersion scattering is too much, the central value is not showing the central tendency, or it is of no use for us. It is only used for us when the central value is showing all the other values closer to it. So we will find out measure of dispersion by range, by quartile deviation. Quartile deviation, these are commonly used measures of dispersion. Range, quartile deviation. All I am telling you, quartile deviation we are not going to cover here, in the next discussion also. We will talk about range, we will talk about mean deviation, and finally the standard deviation. So these are the various measures to find out the degree of scatteredness of the observation in a distribution around the central value. Okay, range, mean, every dispersion measuring have their advantages and disadvantages. We'll talk about range just now. Then you will see what is the problem in range, why we are going to this mean deviation and standard deviation. You will just know. So let us see range. Range is good for some data. I am not saying for every data it is wrong. Central tendency is good for some of the data. It depends totally on the data, that which data you are using. So range is basically a distance. It's a distance. So the distance or the range is the difference between the two extreme observations of the distribution. That is, if I write the formula, it's basically a range of a distribution is maximum value minus or subtraction with minimum value. But we already have an example. See, we talked about two batsmen. What is the range? The maximum is 117, the minimum is 0. So the range of batsman 1 is 117 minus 0. So that is 117. And what is the B2? Range is 60. Highest is 60. He scored highest 60. And lowest he scored 46. What is the difference? 14. So what do you see here? The range of B1 is not good, is very high. But the range of B2 is quite good, 14. It's closer to 0. That is, this scattering is very high in B1 for B1, and the scattering or the dispersion level is very less or almost acceptable for the range. This is the most cheap way to find out the measure of dispersion, which is range. Okay, this can give you an idea, but basically, see, range is the simplest crude way. It does not measure the dispersion of the data from the center value. We require some other measure of variability which depend upon the difference or the deviation of the values from the center value. It is not using, the range is not using the central value at all. There is no central value involved, neither mean, neither median, whichever. So that is why we need some measures of dispersion which are mean deviation and standard deviation. So this will give you a rough idea. As I said earlier, range is the simplest but crude measure of dispersion. It is not using mean, not mode, neither of these two, nor this median. So we'll go for mean deviation and standard deviation. We'll discuss about this. Okay. Deviation is what? The word deviation means how much actual thing is there and how much your actual result is having a difference with it. For example, this is your route. You want to reach there. So if you reach here, you are closer to the point you want to reach. But if you are here, the deviation is quite high. You have to take a very long distance to reach that actual value. So the deviation will be high. So okay, we'll discuss about that. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.